Hi, hello, welcome everyone to this session of project management topic. Today I have a topic which is interesting and also same time this is basic in project management. That is basically I will be speaking about project management process growth. Friends, we all live with processes. So this project management processes and its interaction with project management knowledge areas are something always creates doubts on someone. Those who are basically, aspiring to be, a project manager or appearing as a PMP in the PMP exam. So this is going to be an interesting session. So let's go to my laptop screen and there I will clear what is basically the process groups and how they interact with the knowledge areas or among themselves. So let's go to my laptop screen. So here it is, project management process groups. Basically, these are the 5 process groups which they are in the project management. They are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. All these 5 process groups are basic concept in project management, irrespective of industry, irrespective of type of project. All these 5 process groups are generally used, but however, you can tailor make your own requirement based on your project. But generally, we do use all these processes in the project. Coming to the first process group, that is the initiating, the objective of this is business case assessment, approval for the project, and funding. It means that when you are going to do a project, you need to have the business case assessed and take approval of the competent authority and also commit funds for the project. And the actions which are generally done to achieve these objectives are initial scope is defined, initial financial resources are committed, stakeholders are identified, who is going to work on this project or who is going to get impacted through this, but these are the stakeholders. Of course, you select a project manager who is going to manage the project and develop and approve the project charter. Project charter is the contractual document or the authorized document which gives an authority to start the project. The bottom line is this helps to set the vision of the project, what is required to be accomplished. Coming to next, the planning project process group. This is really a critical thing with us because project management is nothing but planning and managing something. Here the objectives is very clear. Establish the total scope of the effort required. Define and refine the objective. What you are going to do, please define it and refine it. Then development, the course of action required. How much effort is required, as I told you, and what is the course of action is developed here. The actions generally we do is create a project management plan, which is going to manage the project because that is will guide the project manager, the project team to move into the project. Create network diagram to determine the critical path because you need to know the critical path to get the project duration as it is or to customize it or the way you are going to deploy your resources based on the critical path requirement. Then create the WBS know, and the activity list. These are basically breaking down the whole scope of work into WBS and then activity. This is basically in a document. Then estimate the time, cost, and the resources. As you know, all this are initially estimated during the planning phase. And again, this formal approval of this plan. When you prepare this plan or this project management plan, this WBS and activity list, please get it, approved through your management or the competent authority. The bottom line is this process is how the project is done is clearly defined, basically setting the route to move to the desired objective. Coming to the executing project process group, the objective is complete the work defined. Whatever is the real work of the project is completed here. Managing the stakeholder expectations. Your stakeholders have got certain expectations. That is the way the project is being executed or being done. So you need to complete their expectations here. And the activity or the actions which are done is direct and manage project work. You direct the work and manage it. Establish and manage communication. And while you are working, there will a lot of people are working, a lot of stakeholders are impacted. there are vendors, there are suppliers, so you need to have high level of communication. And perform quality assurance, as you are creating a product or doing some product or working with some work, you need to get your quality checked. Then remove the roadblocks. Whatever is coming in, you have to remove it. Then produce the project deliverables. Deliverables are the things which you are going to hand over to your project. For what you are doing the project, that is a deliverable. So you have to produce it in this period. Then manage the project funds, because this is the time where you are going to spend all your funds. Basically 85 to 90% of the funds is spent here in this process. And you need to also have a lot of your staff or HR resources recruited and also fired post completion of this process. So basically you need to have the maximum staffing level in this process. The bottom line is this process covers the large portion of the timeline and also the fund. The monitoring and controlling. This is again critical, because whatever you do need to monitor, and whatever you are monitoring, and if required, it should be controlled. And this process basically covers the entire spectrum of project life cycle, entire timeline of the project life cycle. Because from the initial to the closing, you need to monitor and control. The objectives: track, review the progress and performance. You need to track your progress, review it, review the performances, identify areas for changes in the plan. If you are not moving in the right way, you need to change your plan. Take a next course of action, and then necessitate changes to the plan. If there is a requirement of change, you need to change the plan. So that is control. Generally, the actions we do is measure project performance against baseline. Baseline is nothing, the initial timeline given for different deliverables, different milestones. So you need to measure your project performance matching this baseline or not. Then analyze and evaluate work performance data. You have to analyze your trend of working, how you are working, how your work progress, what is the rate of achievement of deadlines or milestones. Then recommend change, including defect repair or rework. If you have analyzed and got to a point, you have taken a decision, recommend that change. Identify the need for replanning. And replanning is nothing. If you are not in the right path, you have slipped, or you have delayed by some time or overspent something, so you need to replan it. Manage the time and cost reserves. These time and cost reserves, whatever is there in the project, maybe you have some time in terms of extra time given to you as reserve, or you have got the management reserves or the contingency reserves you have to spend during this period. The bottom line is this provides the project team insight into the health of the project. Monitoring and controlling is something you need to basically see the health of the project. Means what? Whether you are on the right track, you are doing the right way it is supposed to be done, as per the plan, as per the fund allotted. So this is basically while doing monitoring and control, you are going to see this, your health of the project is as designed, as planned, as desired, and identify areas requiring additional attention. So this is monitoring and control. This is really something the project management team or the project manager day and night get into this process. The next thing is closing. This is not the last, but this is also important, because whatever has started formally also is going to be closed formally. So the objective is formally complete the project. Formal conclusion of contractual obligations. Whatever contracts you have signed with your vendors or with your sponsors or with your customer, that is needs to be signed. Obtain formal sign-off, acceptance, and handover of project deliverables. This all you need to do in closing. And also gather final lesson learned and update project records. You need to gather the lesson learned, whatever gain you have made or whatever you have achieved in a good way, and whatever you have achieved in a very failed way, you all is have a record. So that is called lesson learned. And again, at the last, index and archive the project records. So you need to do this. Then this process ensures closure of all activities across all process group. whatever is balanced in all the process group before told to you also gets closed during this process. Now coming back to the interaction part, you see the circle, it is covering the initiating, planning, executing and the closing, and it's been encompassed with the monitoring and controlling. So basically monitoring and controlling will be done in all the process. So basically this is the interaction between the process groups. Now coming to the project process groups interaction, again in terms of their activity. If you see the initiating processes in the x-axis to the initially, and then you have the planning process also, it starts from the initiating process. The executing process moves a bit to the right and then moves and finishes before the closing process. Monitoring and controlling, which the red dotted line is, continued from the start to finish. So this is basically what I was telling. The monitoring controlling is done throughout the life cycle of the project. So these are the level of process interaction. And similarly, when you have that level of interaction, now you see the cost and staffing level. If you see in the starting, there is the cost is very less, and as you go the planning, the cost and the staffing level is increasing, and when you do the executing part, you see the time it is taking and also the level of staffing. So basically, you generally in executing you do hire people and also fire people on completion of the executing process group. And also when you come to the closing project, as you see the staffing level is going down, people are fired. Okay friends, that's all about project management process groups. I hope this video will give you the clear picture about project process groups and what is project life cycle. Keep in mind, the process groups are used repeatedly if it is a large and mega projects, because there are a number of phases in large and mega projects. In that scenario, you may have to use them repeatedly. So there is a clear distinction between project life cycle and project process groups. So thanks for watching. As always, please do subscribe to the channel and also press the like button, share the video with your friends and press the bell icon. Until next time, goodbye. Thanks for watching.